Good morning. My name is Miss Ward. This is the third grade class in Arthur Ashe Elementary School. Today we are going to learn about character traits, and I'm going to introduce our new reading unit. We had a reading test on Friday when we left, and so now we get to start this new unit. Last unit, we talked mainly about what genre. What genre did we mainly talk about in the last few weeks? Kenley? Nonfiction. Nonfiction, yes. Say it with confidence. Nonfiction. Today, we're going to start what's called a novel study, okay? So, we've been looking at definitions of words, and novel has two meanings. These are our dictionary definitions for novel, okay? We've got our pronunciation, novel, and then here's our first meaning or definition. A fiction story that is of considerable length and complexity, portraying characters and presenting sequential organization. Lots of words, but just focus on the beginning. A fiction story that is long. Our second meaning of novel is going to be a new and unusual kind. So new. If you're noticing, this is an adjective and this is a noun. Talk to your buddy, talk to your elbow person or the person you're sitting next to. Do you think when I say we're starting a novel study, do you think we're going to be talking about a fiction story that is long? Or do you think we're going to be talking about just in general adjective of new? An adjective using new. All right, talk to your neighbor. One or two. Which meaning makes sense? You think two? Is that one or two? Two, you think two? What do you think? You think two? You think one? All right, go ahead and hold up your fingers. If you think the definition that we're talking about when we say novel study, we're starting a novel study, do you think we're talking about a fiction story? Or do you think we're going to be starting, or do you think we're using the adjective new? All right, hold up one or two. It's tricky. All right, those of you holding up one, why do you think one? Raise your hand. Why do you think we're talking about a fiction story? Marley?
I think we're talking about a fiction story
Forgot. Okay. Anybody else? Who thinks one? A fiction story? Monet?
Well, we're learning about a fiction story because we already learned about nonfiction.
That makes sense. All right, why do you think number two? Meaning number two, definition number two, Nasir?
Because we already learned about fiction.
So that's the same reason as hers, but you're using it for this. And you think you're going to use something new? All right, we're really talking about a fiction story, okay? But I definitely understand why you thought number two because we are learning something new, and I said that, right? Okay, but in this case, when I say we're going to be starting a novel study, we're talking about a long fiction story. All right, Mirzan. A novel is a long fiction story. Mirzov. So the novel study that we're starting is called Crenshaw. Okay? When I say that we're learning a fiction story, what are things that come to your mind? For example, are we going to be seeing nonfiction text features in this book? Thumbs up or thumbs down? We're not, right? It's a fiction story. We're not going to see nonfiction text. What are we going to see? Think back to those words we used when we talked about fiction versus nonfiction. What did we say that fiction stories have? Kenley? They have a setting. They have characters. Problem and solution, or conflict and resolution. Okay, they have drawings or illustrations a lot of times. Right. Okay, right off the bat in a fiction story, we're pretty much told two things. We're immediately given a setting. What's a setting? Nasir?
Where they or a place.
Where and when the story's taking place. And then we're also immediately introduced to characters. And characters have character traits, and that's what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about being able to describe character traits and feelings and back it up with evidence. We had to back up things with evidence with our nonfiction, and now we're just backing things up with fiction. What do I mean when I say back it up with evidence? What did you have to go do to prove to me that the answer was the answer? Ethan, what'd you have to do? You had to go back to the page and be like, this is where it says it. All right, that's what I mean by evidence. Okay, so character traits describe the way a character looks or acts, okay? And if it's describing a character's actions or the way it looks, appearance, what kind of part of speech are most of these words going to be? What part of speech? Monet?
Adjective.
It's going to be an adjective. Why? What's an adjective? Jenny? It describes. It's a description word. It describes a noun. Take a look at this page. This is a list of characters' feelings and traits. Okay? Who can read a word off this page for me? Dior, give me a word on this page. Glad. Yep, what does glad mean? It's a synonym to happy. Marley, give me a word. Kind. Jenny. Unafraid.
Merry.
Merry, like jolly and happy.
Angry.
Angry. Sad.
Ashamed.
Ashamed.
Delighted.
Delighted. These are all adjectives that we can use to describe what? What are we describing? How, who feels? Marley?
The character.
Characters. Character traits. We're going to use these words to describe character traits. Yes, we can use it to describe how we're feeling, but specifically we're talking about character traits. And today we're going to do that by watching a video, I guess I'm going to have to pull up on YouTube, about Miles Morales. Do we know who that is?
Yeah.
Who's Miles Morales? Nasir?
The second Spider-Man.
The second Spider-Man. Okay.
Or the replacement for Spider-Man.
Okay, basically a Spider-Man. And in this video, it's very quick. He introduces himself, okay? And he tells us a little bit about himself. While you're listening to this video, I want you to be thinking about character traits that we could use to describe Miles Morales, okay? All right, so we might watch it a couple times because we really want to look at what would be adjectives, what would be character traits that we could use to describe him, okay?
Okay, let's do this one last time, yeah? For real this time. This is it. My name is Miles Morales. I was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for like 2 days, I've been the one and only Spider-Man. I think you know the rest. I finished my essay. I saved a bunch of people. Got hit by a drone. I did this with my dad. Met my roommate finally. Left a sticker on my dad's never gonna find me. And when I feel alone, like no one understands what I'm going through, I remember my friends who get it. I never thought I'd be able to do any of this stuff, but I can. Anyone can wear the mask. You could wear the mask. only one. Not by a long shot.
I love that song.
All right. What are some words we can use to describe him? You can look at your sheet. What are some character traits to describe him? Dior?
He's proud
He's proud. Why do you say that?
because he jumps and flips.
Okay, jumping and flipping. I don't know if proud is the best word for that, but I do like, I see where you're going with this. Ethan?
He's helpful.
He's helpful. Why is he helpful? Who can give evidence to Ethan's reason or character trait helpful? Jenny?
He is helpful because he is helping other people to be safe.
Right, he's going around the community and saving people. Okay. I'm going to go through, I like that you all have ideas in your head, but I'm going to go through and I want you to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down about whether or not these are good character traits to describe Miles Morales based on that quick clip, okay? So think about the things that he's saying and the things that he's doing that would either support or go against the character trait that I give you. Okay, first one, thumbs up, thumbs down. Is lazy a good character trait to describe Miles Morales? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay, why? What would be your evidence? Most of us have our thumbs down. What would be the evidence to prove that lazy is not a good adjective? Damari?
That he saves the world every day when it needs it.
Okay, he saved the world. What else?
He swings it around and saves people and do flips.
Okay, he's swinging around, a lot of action.
Because when you're lazy, you stay in the house all day. But he's outside every day helping people.
Perfect. I like how you defined what lazy was and then proved that he wasn't. All right, new one. Daring. What is daring? Think about truth or dare. Have you played that game?
Yeah.
Okay, what does daring mean then? Think about the game and then think about the word daring. Nasir?
Oh, the game somebody probably dare him to go fight somebody and he ripped his shit.
But we want to say, just in general, what would it mean or what does it look like to be daring? Dior? Okay, it's similar to brave.
He's heroic.
Yes, they're kind of side by side.
Not being scared to go and help others when they put themselves in danger.
Daring is going to be not being scared to do scary things, kind of. Like, it's having courage to do things. So thumbs up or thumbs down, is Miles Morales daring? Would daring be a good way to describe Miles Morales? A good character trait? Is Miles Morales daring? Let's put our heads up. It's not supposed to be a trick question. Okay, we've got like mixed bag, which means both thumbs up and thumbs down. What are our thoughts? Why would he be daring? What would be evidence to prove that he's daring? Monet?
He's always outside saving the city, and he's not like scared of anything. If it's nighttime and somebody's drowning, he would save them.
Okay, what does he do that's daring? Remember, daring means doing things that is scary, like having the courage to do things that might be scary. Nasir?
Jumping off the building.
That's daring. Yes, it is. Jumping off the building. Scary. And he does it. That proves that he's daring. Ethan?
He tried to go back to a different dimension to save his dad, but he went back to a different dimension and there was no
You have a big background in Spider-Man, don't you?
I watched Spider-Man for 2 years.
2 years, yeah. So that you have a little bit more background knowledge in order to prove evidence. Kenley? He takes risks, exactly. Okay, here's our last one. Optimistic.
What does that mean?
Optimistic. Is Miles Morales optimistic? The word optimistic means looking on the bright side. And this is going to be a big word that we use when we talk about our novel study, the long fiction story we're about to read, Crenshaw. Optimistic. Optimistic means that you're looking on the bright side of things, okay? So, if you spill your water bottle and it's left like half full, if I was optimistic, I would be like, oh, at least it didn't all spill. I'm glad about that. Whereas pessimist, the opposite, would be like, oh my gosh, have my water bottle spilled. It's going to be the worst. Do we see the difference? Yeah. Okay, so do you think Miles Morales is optimistic, thumbs up or thumbs down? Do you think he looks on the bright side of things, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah.
All right, can anybody back that up? Damari, why do you think he's optimistic?
Because I played the game before, and he's never in a bad mood or looking on the dark side.
Okay, not in a bad mood, love that.
He's optimistic because he doesn't let anybody get in his way or anybody telling him that he can't do it or letting any villains get in his way.
He also has this quote, I don't know if you guys could catch it. He says something like, anybody can wear the mask.
Yeah,
It's very inclusive and being like, anyone can help and save and be a hero, right? We're going to be applying these ideas of character traits into Crenshaw, our novel study that we're going to be reading when you come back from Lance. Any questions? No. All right. Thank you for joining our class today. I hope you enjoyed our lesson on character traits.
No!